Humanidaduna, tor para alcanzarlos. Silos, para hacer, a nombre, para sí misma, pero Dios, su language. Why loss? El orgullo levanta, pero Dios, siempre lo derriba, el cielo, se alcanza con humildad, no con ladrillos. Have you ever looked up at a skyscraper and wondered what it would be like to be up there among the clouds? To be that high up, it must be so peaceful, so quiet, so close to God. In today's passage, Genesis chapter 11, verses 1 to 9, we read about humanity's first attempt at building a tower that would reach all the way to heaven. The scripture says that after the flood, all the people in the world had one language, and they were all traveling around and saw this plain in the land of Shinar, and they decided to settle there. And they began to build a city and a tower whose top might reach unto heaven. They wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to be remembered. They wanted to leave their mark on the world. But the most interesting thing, friends, is why they wanted to go up. Why did they want to build that tower? So scripture says here in verse 4 that they said, "Let us ascend up to heaven and make a name for ourselves." You see, their intention was to reach heaven with their own hands, to get to God by their own effort, to earn their salvation by their own works. And just to clarify, building a tower was not a sin in itself. It's not wrong to want to build tall buildings even today. What is wrong is the motive behind it. You see, their motive was to exalt themselves, to be like God, to reach God on their own terms. And guess what? God doesn't like it when we try to reach Him on our own terms. God doesn't like it when we think that we can earn His favor. Look at what He did. In verse 7, the Lord came down to see the tower that the people were building. And He said, "Wait a minute. These people are building a tower to reach heaven, and the height of their pride is reaching me. Let me confuse their language so they cannot understand each other, and let me scatter them across the face of the earth, so they can continue building this tower." Friends, this is a picture of what happens when we build our lives on pride. Pride builds up, but God always brings it back down. The person who is exalting himself will end up being humbled. So how do we reach heaven? Not with bricks and mortar, not with wood or steel, but with humility. We reach heaven when we acknowledge our sin and confess our pride and realize that we need God more than God needs us. We reach heaven when we humble ourselves under His mighty hand, resist the devil, flee from temptation, endure suffering for the gospel, because that is the path of humility. Yes, skyscrapers may touch the clouds, but only humble hearts will touch the face of God. So let us come to God as we are, broken and contrite, and He will lift up our heads. Amen.